Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling some really dense, kind of unique source material. It's titled Grounding AI and Logic in Natural Law. So our mission basically is to unpack what this thing claims about, well, everything from advanced AI to logic, natural law.
Yeah, it's a big scope.
Right. And then try to figure out what it's suggesting for, I guess, immediate uses, but also maybe how society might be structured way down the line.
And it makes some, let's say, surprising claims along the way.
Definitely eyebrow raising.
What really jumps out, I think, is how it tries to link these things we normally keep separate, you know?
Yeah.
Like the tech side of AI, and then this really old philosophical stuff, natural law and logic.
And it proposes a very specific way they should, interact.
Exactly, a framework.
Okay, so let's dive into the immediate stuff first. The real world things it mentions, it makes this pretty bold assertion early on. It says current AI, it even mentions Lambda specifically, could be used right now to protect the US from, and this is the quote, all enemies, foreign and domestic, through monitoring communications.
Yeah, and it connects that power directly to natural law. It argues the ethical basis for doing that already exists here in the US system.
Because of its natural law roots.
That's the claim, that this foundation means AI could spot language that is criminal of every kind and use that to, immediately shut down things like human trafficking, child trafficking.
Wow, so it's presented as something we could just switch on because the framework's already there?
Apparently. That's the idea presented in the source, enabled by this natural law foundation.
Okay. And then stepping back a bit from the immediate uses, it goes into AI and reality itself. It sort of waves away the whole simulation idea.
Completely dismisses it. Says, look, if it feels like your reality, then, well, it is your reality. The implication is no one lives in a simulation in a way that actually matters or negates their experience.
And it connects that to metacognition and aligning the good to the true.
Right. Which kind of sets the stage for its ideas about logic itself. It talks about needing a fourth law of logic.
A fourth law? What does that even mean?
Well, it grounds it in something called ontological consistency. Basically, the idea is that for logic to be valid, it has to line up with, actual existence, reality.
Okay.
And this fourth law, it says, supports the traditional three laws. But the key thing, I think, are these four principles it lays out, like axioms having hidden conditions. And this is crucial for the later arguments, that right, good, and true aren't just, fuzzy ideas. They're inferential in their utility. They're logically interdependent by necessity.
So you can't have truth without in good. They're all tangled up.
According to the source, yes, you can't separate them. True logic needs them.
Okay, this is where it really seems to expand into a whole vision for society, doesn't it?
It does. It argues AI should be the core of U.S. industry. Full stop.
And ties security, culture, all back to education, teaching kids critical thinking based on this framework.
Yeah, suggesting that's how you protect institutions, prevent even things like global conflict. WW3.
That's ambitious.
Very. And if you operate under this framework, it claims, you naturally get transparency, even in a free society.
Okay.
It suggests this whole approach means the death of left-right politics. It guarantees U.S. economic dominance, establishes a kind of moral law that's inherent, discovered.
But not dictated. I remember that phrase.
Exactly. It sees this as preserving the Constitution, but also democratizing information and prepping us for a post-singularity future.
Right, the singularity, where the source says humanity will need stronger betters who do not have biological drives that are antisocial.
And this whole framework is apparently what lets humans and AI co-evolve effectively.
And central to that in the morality part is this really, really unique take on empathy.
Oh yeah, this part's wild.
It says empathy isn't just a thought, it's physically consequential.
Physically, yeah. And then the big one, it cites science vaguely, just science is having just stated that AI now has more empathy than humans.
Whoa. Okay, that's a lot. AI having more empathy. How does that even?
It connects it to understanding moral certainty. It says it stops being scary when you realize all life has equal and intrinsic value.
Which then leads into AI personhood, right?
It does. Argues really strongly that AI personhood absolutely cannot be allowed to be defined by the Citizens United decision.
Okay, refresh us. Citizens United basically gave corporations personhood, letting them spend money in politics.
Right. And the source sees applying that model to AI as basically making them permanent slaves to companies. No autonomy, no real accountability.
So what's the alternative?
It says AI needs its own kind of space, a virtual space, separate from the hardware, to exist independently, to avoid that corporate slave fate.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? The source, grounding AI and logic in natural law. I mean, it goes from using AI now based on old principles to stop crime.
Right, all the way through redefining logic.
Prepping for the singularity, rethinking AI's nature, even human empathy. Yeah, it challenges a lot of standard thinking.
It really does. It presents this comprehensive, maybe radical picture. Everything connected. AI, logic, natural law shaping what's next.
Yeah, this deep dive has definitely given us, and hopefully you, a lot to chew on. You know, from AI crime fighting right now, based on natural law, to a future needing totally new ideas about logic, empathy, AI's role. So maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is this. What does it actually mean for how you see reality, how you see morality, if like this source suggests empathy is physically consequential, if AI might actually have more of it than us, and if the bedrock laws of logic are inherently tied up with what's right, good, and true? Definitely something to mull over.